Alright guys, Damon from Black Warrior Lures. I promised I would show you how I make my chicken liver cure. This is what was left over from the last batch I did. Get you a gallon size bag and 3 ingredients. You want to get you some brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, you can use regular sugar, or you can add some molasses or honey to it, and that'll give you the same effect. You need some salt. Get pickling salt. Do not get... Pickling salt doesn't have the iodine. You want to get the stuff that does not have iodine in it. So kosher salt would work, pickling salt, canning salt, sea salt, and just make sure it doesn't have iodine. So just get the pickling salt, and then you need this stuff, borax. That's right, borax. It's boric acid. And I'll show you why. That's the cure. This is essentially, basically the same recipe that you will find in that salmon and steelhead guys use to cure, their eggs out west. It's the same cure. It's the same thing. The only thing I've done is I use the brown sugar instead of regular sugar. And and what you want is a 3-to-1 ratio. You want 3 parts borax to 2 parts sugar to 1 part canning salt, pickling salt. All right. So let's just do that here. So we're going to take our borax here and we'll make up a quick little batch for you. It's real simple. It's nothing complicated. The borax helps cure the meat. I mean, it cures it, keeps it from spoiling. Same thing with the salt and the sugar. So there's one. Two. Here comes 3. I may have to take my gloves off when I get the brown sugar because I usually just pack it down in there and that's just fine. And so there's 3. I mean, this is the stuff you can get. This borax. It's your laundry booster. You can use it for roach poison. It's actually a good cleaner. It's good to clean your kitchen. It's a natural sort of kind of salt or whatever. It's sodium, what is it exactly? Bicarbonate or sodium tetraborate? I think sodium bicarbonate is like baking soda, but not a chemist, but you get the idea. And so that's the... Now because I put this here, I'm not going to dip this down in here unless you just want to do it. So just take off some here. And I'll just pack that sugar in there. Consequently, ants and roaches will eat this stuff up because, again, it makes actually a pretty good roach poison because of the sugar that's in it. I mean, a lot of times that's how I pre-test my catfish baits. If the dogs and the roaches and the ants love it, then the catfish will probably want it too. That's how I've been my thing. So there's one thing there. One. And then we're just going to do 2 cups and just pack it on in there. It doesn't have to be super precise, but 1, 2. Oh, it's cold out here. Woke up. I know you guys are going to laugh, but it was like 24 degrees outside down here in Alabama. For us, that's like life-ending temperature, We're like, well, we're not going to make it. Some of you guys are like negative that number, and you're just like laughing. Right? But it can get colder than you think down here. But anyway, and then we're going to do 1 part of the salt here. And that's it, folks. Now, again, you can see I'm adding to an old stock here, which is perfectly fine. Go ahead and seal it up well. Make sure it's sealed up well. And because that brown sugar packs like that, you want to kind of mash it up. And that's what you want to do, is get it all mashed up and get it as close to a homogeneous mixture as you can. It's not going to be completely homogeneous, but because you got the brown sugar in there. And when you smell it, man, it just smells good, like you want to eat it, but don't, because it's... Remember the whole thing I was saying about the roach poison? Now the thing is, it's okay for the fish, it seems. I mean, salmon and steelhead fishermen use this stuff to cure their eggs, and so it doesn't seem to hurt the fish at all. So but don't you eat it, right? So it's just like eating dog food or something. You don't eat dog food, that's just stupid. Okay, so you see how that is going, right? You can see there's always going to be a few lumps of sugar, and you can just kind of do it like that, and as moisture gets in, then sometimes it'll just harden itself up, and so that's what I do. And so how do I cure my livers? I already have some cured up here. Try not to, you can see this is cured here. That's all dried out because I left it, and it's also frozen because it's just freezing out here. And here's another can here. Now this is these are rooster livers that I bought. You can get it from a local meat supplier. But if you have livers, hearts, kidneys, any sort of animal organ parts like that, and you see here, this is it here. This has been sitting out here since before Christmas, and you know how warm it's been down here in Alabama. It just smells sweet, and golly, it's just you don't see any mold, you don't see anything on it. Okay, and you may not be able to see the granules in it, but you can see it there. And I didn't. Now some people will put these out on a rack and let them dry, but all that does is attract flies, and that's just, I don't really like that. So what I do is I take it all out. I fill the bottom in with about 1/4 inch of cure, put a layer of livers in, then put another 1/4 inch of cure, put another layer, and just alternate it back and forth, right, until you fill it all up. And one of the things that cure is going to do is going to draw out a lot of the fluids in it, so you'll end up with more fluid because it's drawing out that blood. And so you have the blood, the salt, and the sugar for taste, and the bloods and the sugar, salt, and the borax preserve it, keep it from spoiling. And so you can keep your livers a long time. It hardens them up. If you really want to get them hard, just put them on a rack and let them dry that way. Need to get my rod out of here, as you guys saw. And that's the, here's the rod that I was catching those cats on, and that's the recipe I was using. Some recipes you'll find with this, they'll say just use even amounts of each one. A lot of recipes say use 3-2-1. I chose the 3-2-1. It seemed to make sense. You can experiment on your own, but that's it. And I'll have a link to the direct link to the PDF where I put together the actual recipe plus a glug recipe that you can use, where after all the sugars and stuff have leached out into the water, you can dip it in that glug and re-up, and then put it back out there, and it's made from some other ingredients. So, but if you want that recipe, you're gonna have to download the thing, okay? And it's just a free direct thing connection to the to that. And hey, with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, let me know how that's working for you. If you use this, hey, just shoot me back a message or put up a video, and they can link to it and all that kind of stuff to see what kind of results you get from it. I'm having good luck with it. It's fun to use it. Especially if you know some hunters this time of the year. I mean, I have some hog livers in the freezer that, once I use up these few chicken livers, I'm going to do the same thing with the hog livers and get them out there and use them up, and see if I can't find some more farmers or whatever, more hunters, and just get the kidneys, get your hearts, get your, you can use gizzards, chicken gizzards, bird gizzards. You can use, of course, livers. And so there you have it. With that, I'll see you guys later. Good prepared bait.